What is going on out there, good people, and welcome back to LMD Trading, where I am living my dream trading. Hope everybody out there had a good day wherever you are in these parts of the world. As for myself, my day was pretty good. Decent day in the market and just an overall decent day today. As far as trading goes, pretty good. Tried some new things today. This weekend, I was actually working on trying to tighten up this new strategy that I am using. So I wrote out a plan, and you see I got my right execute, follow your plan shirt on. And I keep a mouse pad on my desk that says the same thing. Right execute and follow your plan. It is your plan. We didn't quite do that today, and it will show in some of these trades. But overall, decent day. That's the P&L. I am using TRADERVUE today, and I'll probably be using TRADERVUE from here on out now. I still have my spreadsheet, still plugging those numbers in. Main reason I did that is because I wanted to kind of show what the percentage is per trade that you can make, what the commissions are per trade that you may expect if you're using ThinkOrSwim. But today I traded some stocks as well. So it's just easier to show my P&L on TRADERVUE. So I did take two stock trades, SI and Sophie, and I took these using the trend trading strategy. Still ain't really came up with a name for it yet, but took those two trades using that strategy, risking $5 per trade. So you see SI, it was almost up 2R, took stop to break even, and basically came back and stopped out flat. I should have locked in on this one based on what the chart was telling me. Sophie almost went 3R. I moved my stop to 1R and got tagged for the 1R. And then we traded 4 options. We traded Tesla, traded the SPY 2 times, both ways, puts and calls, and then traded Amazon. This Tesla trade, this one here goes straight towards me not following my written plan because it's written down and I didn't follow it. So we'll look at these trades inside of ThinkOrSwim. I didn't record my trades today, which kind of sucks because it would have been good to be able to go back and look at these things. But here we have the SPY pulled up, just showing you what it did today. These are my trend charts or my trend lines. Here's the 2-minute, and I need to change something real quick. Bear with me. I don't like when I can't see the top. So if you want to see the top of your charts, just go in the settings and expansion area, kick it up maybe 5 or 10%. You'll see what it's going to do. See how it kind of dropped it so that I can see the complete charts. But this was the 2-minute chart. We see that the SPY opened in an uptrend, and it finally caught a downtrend, and then an uptrend. And that's just what it's doing. And you can play this thing any way. You find when it breaks trend, if you want to join that trend, it's going to break it again. You get the confirmation right there. You start trading it that way. But this is what my charts look like when I'm trading throughout the day. Let's go ahead. Let's get the first contract pulled up. And that's it right there, already pulled up. Let's see where we were getting in on the actual contracts. This just kills me. I don't understand that. Every time I get in on a market order, it markets me in almost at the top of the candle. That one is at the very top. The high of that candle is probably 55, and that's where I'm in at. So let's come over. This is the put too. So let's come on over. Let's take a look at this on the stock chart. Let's see if we can kind of decipher what we were doing. Do that, change that to an arrow. So if we go based on that chart, that means that we were getting in right there. Let's see where we were getting out. We were getting out in this big candle. So probably getting out more so right there. We see that this was in an uptrend. Come up to the top, back down to the base, back up to the top, back down to the base, back up to the top. And I took this as it was coming back down, thinking that it's going to make it back down to the base. This is what I don't want to do. And I did it. I don't want to take trades on the pullbacks. If it's in an up channel, I only should be trading it in the up channel. So it goes up, let it come back down. And then if I want to get back in right here. Or on stop trades, I could ride it back down, move my stop to right here, and then let it go up the next leg. Let it pull back, move my stop to right there, let it go up again. That's part of my plan. That's part of my written plan. That's one way to manage a trade. But I shouldn't be buying to come back down, because you can see what happens. Bought on it to come back down. It kind of consolidated over. This thing could have easily just bounced back up again. It wasn't guaranteed that this was going to break out of the channel. So we see that it did though. Broke out, came, tested the previous close, and then shot right back up. It tried to get back in the channel several times, and then it finally rejected the channel. And now we got the new down channel. Show you something else real quick you could do. Right click and go to activate. And if you want to readjust your channel, it's that easy. You don't have to redraw the channel. You could just right click, activate, grab one of these legs. Now this leg is going to make you be able to do that right there. This leg up here is going to make you be able to do that right there. And then you can grab it, adjust it, and then this leg tightens it up. So if you need to adjust your channel as it starts finding new areas, I like to see tails coming over the edge. That's letting me know that my channel is good because it's being tested. It's being tested. But just another little tip right there. But that was the first trade on the SPY. Let's go ahead and look at the second trade. And this one here was a call. Let's look and see. First, our entries. Okay, now this one was a good one. Look at that. We getting in at the base of that candle. Sweet, 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 sweet. Thing was, this was a chase. You can tell because I really should have been getting in off of that candle. Let's see where we got out at. Got out at the bottom though. Left some money on the table. Let's come on over. Let's check, see where we got in. I already knew this was going to be a chase. So getting in right there. Stopping out. It's a good exit though, as it was coming back down, but I probably could have just maximized and got out right when it hit the top of the channel instead of letting it pull back. If I'm going to let it pull back, I might as well just keep my stop and wait for it to do exactly what it did. That didn't really make much sense. Go ahead, get out of maybe 3/4 of the position up here, and then let that quarter position ride, and you riding it all the way up to here. But again, this should have been either here, the entry, little aggressive, got it written in my plan that that's aggressive, or you wait on the second one. And this is how I determine that. So you in this down channel. When this thing comes and it sets a higher low, go ahead and drop. And I'm going to show you exactly how I do this real quick, just so you can see as this trade is working, you already got the trend established when you set this low and that high. So this is coming down, coming down, coming down. It doesn't keep going. It sets the higher low. Convert that. So you come here, draw that to there. So that's your first pivot. Extend it to the right. Look where it's catching. And you get the little tail hanging over. That's what I like to see. Right click it, redraw it as a channel, come up here, drop it off of this first pivot. Imagine none of this is done. You just created your channel at 10:55. You pretty much know what the future is going to do based on that channel. That's why I love this. I love this. Again, if this comes up and it breaks this channel and it comes and it sets a new lower high right there, now you just draw your pivot from here to there, and now you got the down channel going. But that's how easy it is to draw those channels. That's how easy. But let's go ahead. Let's look at the foolishness that we did on Tesla. Let's look at the foolishness. So we got Tesla pulled up. We see Tesla sold off, came back up, and then finally sold off. Let's watch what we did on this one. We rode this bad boy. We rode this one till the wheels almost fell off. Here we go again. We got excited for a minute, but look, we getting filled at the top of the candle. Let's see where we got in on the actual stock chart. Let's do that. Convert that back over. And we getting in right here. I can somewhat see why you getting filled like that too, if I'm waiting on that confirmation. Keyword, waiting on the confirmation that I did not get. I did not get confirmation. And I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to show you what I mean. Where can I draw a down channel? Where can I draw a down channel? I can't, because I don't have a pivot going down. I assumed. And they say when you assume, you make a out of yourself. I assumed that this was going to do this right here. I'm going to draw the channel. I'll go ahead, extend it to the right, and then I'm going to redraw it as a channel. That's what I thought Tesla was going to do this morning. As Charlie Murphy used to say, wrong, wrong. I was so wrong. I was so wrong so much that I stayed in this thing all the way up to here. And the way that I managed this trade out was if this broke previous day's close, retested, and set a new high, I would get out of the trade for whatever I was in it. Fortunately, that did not happen. And I stayed in this trade. Let me get that right there. I stayed in this trade until that candle right there, that point right there. Stayed in this trade until then. Until then. And notice something. You see this channel. This was a pre-market channel. Look at how when it got in that pre-market channel, it respected it. It tested it. It respected it again. So, and I left maybe $150 to $200 on this trade. I made 65 on it. Ended up getting out because I didn't want to sit through this pullback. I only had one contract. Didn't want to sit through this pullback because I had already came from this foolishness right here. But this one contract probably, let's go over here and see where it was at. Look at that. 806 is where the high was at. We got out at 535. So we left 165 bucks on the table by getting out right there. But after this being a bad trade, me not following my plan. So what my plan says is, if I want to get in on something like this, and I really can't get in on something like this because it's not a trend break. This is just trying to establish the trend. I need to see this candle break the low of that candle. And I didn't get that in that trade. But which one? I think that's going to do it for the stock or the option trades. Let's go ahead. Let's review SI and then we'll review Sophie. Let's go ahead and take a look at these two. And I already got them on there. Just need to come up here, find where we got in at 1464. And I'm going to explain my system on this and you'll see just how smooth it is. And that was the problem was. Look at that. I got in this trade 1464.96. It stops me out 1464.10. So I was getting out break even, but not quite break even. Let me add a study on here. I created a study. See, I got it called ATR LMD. Move it up here to the volume. Boom and boom. There we go. So in an uptrend, in an uptrend, in an uptrend. Just like I said on Tesla. I don't want to get in until this tests the channel. Next candle breaks the high of that candle. And if you see when I move these, if you look at the yellow down there, it's changing. That's giving me the ATR for the last 14 candles, average trading range. So that's what I use to set my stop with. So that particular trade would have had a 16-cent stop. So I need this trade to go 32 cents and the entry is 14.58. So I need this to go 14.90. Where did this go? Is that right? Yeah. Yep, 14.84. So just what I thought. A little short of 2R. And then you do see that this came back and then continued higher. But fairly tight channel. Only should expect about 2R out of it. And that's exactly what it gave. And that's why I said I should have been getting out when this came up to here. Should have been getting out. SSI. Go ahead and take a look at Sophie. And you see, I got my channels already on here pre-market. And that's why I put this on my watch list, because it had established some clean channels pre-market. Let's go ahead and take a look at this. So this one here, we get in at 674. So getting in on that candle. What's the high of that candle? High of that candle is 674. Boom, getting in right where we want to. Stop on this one is 6 cents. So a 6-cent stop, risking $6 because I bought 100 shares. So risking $6. 6 cents. What's the low of that candle? The low is 63. So we stopping out at 667. We stopping out right there. This came nowhere near stopping us out. This thing makes this nice move up. And then we finally stop out, or get out of the trade, I should say. Not necessarily stopping out. We get out right here. And you see, this is where I talk about how I had already drew this new channel. This wasn't on there at the time that I'm in the trade. Once it broke it, then I drew the next channel. Test. We get a little slight test. move down, move over. We don't set a lower high. That's the trend change. And that's how easy it is. These hit, and this is what the market does. The market is not holding long trends. You get a quick move and then boom. You get a quick move, boom. But if you know where those moves are going to happen at, you can trade them. But that's just a little something on what we did today over here at LMD Trading. Hope you enjoyed the recap. If so, please, please, please give your boy a like. Doesn't cost you a thing. Also doesn't cost you a thing to subscribe if you're not already subscribed. Like I said, I am working on an actual written plan on how I plan to work this strategy. I'm one of those people, I like it simple. I don't like too many moving parts and things. I mentioned this in the Discord today. I like simplicity. So as simple as I can make this thing is what I want to make it. That's why I ended up creating this this little ATR window right here so that it's easy for me to see what the ATR is, and I use the ATR for my stop. That way I don't have to try to figure out what I need to set the stop at. As the trade is working, it's going to tell me what the ATR is for the last 14 bars. I use just the standard Wilder's ATR. And then 14, it would normally be 14 days on a daily chart, but 14 of the past periods on a chart. So on this chart, it's going to take the last 14 1-minute bars, add all of those up, divide it by 14. That gives you the average trading range. If I'm getting in a trade off of the 5-minute chart, you see it's going to give you a different stop because these candles are bigger than the 1-minute candle. And that's how that works. So it's taking the last 14 candles, add it up, divided by 14. And you see right here, this is telling you wherever you put your cursor at. Right here is telling you where the most current candle is at. So that's how we do that. And why am I talking and I don't have the chart pulled up? Here, let me bring it back. Here, right here. This is where I'm talking about. My little ATR study. When you move this, see how right there it moves? And then this box right here gives you the current ATR. But all right, let me go ahead and wrap this up. I said I was done 3 minutes ago. As always, thanks for checking me out, and we'll be back at this thing again tomorrow. Peace.